Hi everyone, welcome back to MOHIvate. I'm Dr. Mohi Sarawgee, a GP by profession, but here I'm swapping prescriptions for perspective. With a little science, a little warmth, and a touch of humor, these episodes are your weekly reminders that health can feel simple and that life doesn't always have to feel so overwhelming. So, whether you're brewing your first coffee, stuck in traffic, folding laundry, or winding down in the soft chaos of the day, this space is for you. Today, we are talking about magnesium, the mineral that wellness culture has turned into a mood board. You've seen it, haven't you? Magnesium body butter, sleep spray, magnesium foot soak, chocolate, even deodorant. It's been trending like a celebrity supplement, doing everything, everywhere, all at once. But what is it really doing inside you? Is it the secret to serenity or just another sparkle in the circus of wellness? Somewhere beneath the hashtags lies a story. Less sparkle, more science. So let's explore magnesium today. If your body were a show, magnesium would be backstage, pulling ropes, fixing lights, keeping everything running while the stars take the applause. It's not the lead actor, but without it, there's no performance at all. And that's because magnesium is an essential mineral, which means your body can't make it on its own. It has to come from what you eat and drink each day. Magnesium participates in over 300 enzymatic reactions across the body. It's responsible for energy production, muscle relaxation, nerve transmission, and DNA repair. And that's not marketing, that's metabolism. Magnesium lives mostly in your bones, muscles, and soft tissues, helping turn the food you eat into the energy you feel. When you move, when you think, when you sleep, magnesium is there, stabilizing the chemistry that keeps you human. Think of it as the body's spark plug. Without it, the engine weakens. And if you've ever felt fatigued, tense, or foggy, sometimes it's that small mineral backstage silently asking for a refill. Now let's recall our tongue twister friend. Remember Betty? She was always looking for better butter. One day, scrolling through her feed, she found a video about magnesium body butter. It promised better sleep, less stress, shinier hair, and who knows, maybe even a happier dog. So Betty slathered it on her arms like hope in a jar. And this is where science politely steps in and says, well, not exactly. Despite what the reels suggest, there's no solid clinical evidence that topical magnesium, whether in creams, oils, or butters, is absorbed through the skin in any meaningful way. I actually spent a long time digging through research papers looking for one that might prove otherwise. The only one I found was a 2017 randomized trial that tested magnesium through the skin. And this trial found no meaningful rise in blood magnesium levels when compared with oral supplements. To put it plainly, rubbing magnesium on your skin won't fix a low magnesium level in your blood. Just like rubbing a tomato on your face won't give you vitamin C. Our skin is a remarkable barrier designed to keep the world out, not soak it in. So, yes, those magnesium butters and sprays may smell divine and feel luxurious, but the benefit is more about self care ritual than cellular repair. Everything you eat or put inside your body doesn't work the same way on your skin. Just like you wouldn't drink your face serum for hydration, the biology simply doesn't translate. Although I'll admit, Seeing these products online, the packaging is beautiful, the kind that makes you want to believe the label. But remember, sometimes placebo is half the pleasure. So, if magnesium isn't making its way in through the skin, what happens when it actually gets where it's meant to go? Inside your body. Let's leave the jars on the shelf for a moment and look at what magnesium really does once it's in your system. How it fuels your muscles, your nerves, your sleep, even your mood. Because that's where the real magic, or should I say the real mechanism, begins. So, what happens when magnesium actually gets inside? Remember, magnesium is a mineral of balance. You can think of it as the silent engineer of your body's electricity, managing every spark that lets a muscle contract or a neuron fire. Inside your cells, magnesium works hand in hand with ATP, the molecule that stores energy. In fact, every molecule of ATP has to be bound to magnesium before it can be used. That's how fundamental it is. No magnesium, no usable energy. It also keeps muscles and nerves in check. Calcium tells muscles to contract. Magnesium helps them relax. That's why a low magnesium state can feel like tension, twitching, or cramps. It's literally the brake missing from the system. In the heart, magnesium keeps the rhythm steady by regulating how electrolytes move in and out of cells. In the brain, it supports neurotransmitters such as GABA and serotonin that influence mood and focus. That's the science behind magnesium's reputation as the calm mineral. And if you caught our previous episode on serotonin, you'll recognize how closely those parts intertwine. Magnesium helps that chemistry perform smoothly. During sleep, magnesium also helps tune your circadian rhythm, your body's internal day and night clock, by supporting melatonin production and GABA signaling. I like to call that your built in night mode. So, yes, when magnesium shows up where it belongs, inside your cells, it isn't a trend, it's teamwork. It's the mineral that turns chemistry into collaboration, the unseen partner in almost everything your body does. So, when does magnesium really matter? The short answer, at almost every stage of life, but for different reasons. Let's start with hormonal roller coaster years in women: perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. As estrogen levels fluctuate, magnesium levels can dip, affecting mood, sleep, and muscle function. A 2024 review in a menopause medicine journal showed that magnesium supplementation improves sleep quality and reduced night cramps in these women. Magnesium supports GABA and serotonin, the same calm circuit we spoke about in the serotonin episode, while steadying temperature, energy, and those familiar hot flash moments. It's not a magic bullet, but it can be a steady ally in the background of those shifting seasons. Now, you might wonder, does magnesium matter in the male version of hormonal change too? What's often called andropause? Some studies show that men with higher magnesium intake or supplementation have higher free and total testosterone levels, especially when combined with exercise. So, for men noticing changes with age, lower energy, altered muscle mass, shifts in libido, magnesium isn't a fix all, but it could be one helpful piece of the larger hormonal puzzle. Next, the athletes. When you sweat, you're not just losing water, you're losing electrolytes, including magnesium. A 2023 sports medicine review found that maintaining magnesium levels improved endurance and reduced post exercise soreness. So, no, magnesium won't make you win Wimbledon, but it might stop your muscles from filing complaints the next morning. Then we come to children. Low magnesium intake has been linked to irritability, restless sleep, and attention difficulties. Magnesium from real food, nuts, seeds, leafy greens, lentils, all these support strong bones and help in developing nervous system. Next, pregnancy. Here, magnesium moves from wellness trend to medical must have. In hospitals, magnesium sulfate is used to prevent seizures in preeclampsia and to protect the baby's brain in early preterm labor. That's real medicine. Most prenatal vitamins already contain the amount required. And if you're thinking about adding more, always check with your doctor. Pregnancy is one time when enough truly is enough. Finally, disease and deficiency. Magnesium deficiency is sneakier than it seems, hiding behind fatigue, twitches, headaches, and anxiety. According to the World Health Organization, nearly 60% of adults in developed countries fall short of recommended intake, largely due to refined diets and soil depletion. All the references are listed in the show notes if you'd like to dig deeper. But let's step out of the data for a moment. Because the real question I'm often asked is, should we even test for magnesium at all? Technically, yes, but it's not that simple. Only about 1% of your body's magnesium circulates in the blood. Serum tests don't reflect what's stored in muscles and bones, so a normal result can mask deficiency. That's why most major guidelines, including the NICE guidelines we follow in the UK, advise against routine testing unless there's a clear clinical reason. Unexplained cramps, irregular heart rhythm, significant muscle weakness, or during chemotherapy treatment where magnesium loss can occur from certain medications. So, unless you're funding a research trial in your kitchen, the best test is your diet and your symptoms. They tell the story long before the lab does. And on that note, if you haven't yet listened to episode 2, Making Sense of Medical Tests, do give it a listen. It'll help you see why sometimes context matters more than numbers and how every test fits into your body's biggest narrative. Now, let's start with the good news. Magnesium doesn't just live in capsules, it lives in your kitchen. Our bodies can't make it, so it has to come from food and drink, preferably whole foods. Leafy greens, legumes, lentils, avocado, almonds, spinach, pumpkin seeds, everyday foods that don't need an influencer status to do their job. And yes, that square of dark chocolate you reach for at 9 p.m., you can call it research. It carries a gentle dose of magnesium too. However, I talk and think about chocolate all the time. And when we spoke about serotonin, I mentioned that square of chocolate in the morning. Please don't overdo it, even if it's 95% dark. Remember, serotonin was about balance, and magnesium is too. A 2020 Harvard School of Public Health review concluded that diets rich in plant based magnesium sources correlate with lower chronic disease risk and better sleep quality. So maybe instead of another supplement, what we need is a stir fry. But when diet isn't enough, because let's be honest, stress, processed food, and coffee often crash land into our magnesium stores. That's when people turn to supplements. Let's discuss it a little bit. Not all magnesium is created equal. What you're really looking for on that bottle of the supplement is the elemental magnesium, the actual amount your body can use. When a label says 1000 milligrams magnesium glycinate, that doesn't mean you're getting 1000 milligrams of magnesium daily. Each compound contains only a portion of elemental magnesium. The rest is the carrier molecule that affects how it's absorbed. So, here's a quick doctor's desk breakdown of the different forms of magnesium. Magnesium citrate is the one with a laxative streak. Great if you struggle with constipation, but not ideal before a long meeting. Magnesium glycinate is gentle on the stomach, often used for sleep and anxiety. Magnesium taurate, teamed with taurine, it may support heart rhythm and cardiovascular health. Magnesium malate, linked with energy production and sometimes used in chronic fatigue or fibromyalgia. Magnesium oxide, the classic pharmacy version, high in elemental magnesium but lower in absorption. Still very useful in migraine prevention and general supplementation. Now, dosage. And this is where individuality matters. The recommended daily allowance is roughly 300 milligram for women and 400 milligram for men. But always discuss your needs with your doctor or pharmacist, especially if you're on antibiotics, thyroid medicines, or heart drugs, as magnesium can interact with all of these. Before you reach the supplement aisle, remember this. If your diet already includes greens, legumes, seeds, and whole grains, you might be doing better than you think. So, whether you're sprinkling seeds on your breakfast or reading the fine print on a magnesium bottle, think of it as tuning your balance, not chasing a cure all. Magnesium reminds us that health isn't about trends, but about respecting the body's original design. It doesn't demand attention, it simply keeps things running. When we eat well, move, rest, and breathe, magnesium quietly steadies energy, mood, and muscle. It doesn't demand attention, it simply keeps things moving. If you take one thing from today, let it be this. The modern world runs on stimulation, caffeine, screens, noise. Magnesium is our biological counterbalance. It's not the magic dust that fixes burnout. It's the mineral that reminds us our body already knows rhythm, recovery, and repair. So maybe coming home to yourself isn't about adding another supplement to the shelf. It's about trusting that your body already carries the chemistry of steadiness. Feed it, move it, rest it, and give it the respect of simplicity. And if Betty's still using her better butter, that's fine. Rituals can soothe the mind even when the molecule doesn't make it through the skin. Sometimes that's medicine too. Awareness wrapped in humor. I hope something today stirred a thought, gave you a smile, or simply made you pause. If you've been enjoying these episodes, I'd love for you to follow or subscribe, and please share it with someone who might need it too. And if you have a moment to rate or leave a kind word, it truly keeps me going. Thank you for listening. I'm Dr. Mohi. Until next time, stay motivated. May your butter be better and in moderation. And may your supplement shelf find its balance too. Because remember, true wellness isn't about chasing more. It's about coming home to yourself.